Welcome to our demo SCIO EDUCTOR, the quantum biofeedback and bioresonance technologies, emotional balance. So my name is Jacqueline Jacques. You know my background and professional expertise. So the objective of this presentation, this video is part of a series of videos to present the main characteristic and functionalities of the EDUCTOR, the most efficient quantum biofeedback and bioresonance technologies on the market today. So this video will present the emotional balance. We know how important is the balancing the emotion, how the emotion will impact the health and wellness of the client. And we have many procedures in our device. I will show you the most easy method that we have to balance the emotion. First of all, we have here, we have our matrix. You remember the matrix with all the frequencies. We have one subcategories here that is emotions. So we have right away, the list of the emotion that the client is reacting to. So the red, the violet, and the yellow are the significant one for the client. And if we would like to harmonize this, what we will do just simply, we will just do this treat here. So we will just click the first one and click treat, and it is easy, okay? So, and then we will have the reactivity of the client. So this is really something that is easy to do. We have procedure where we can work and give many frequencies in one shot to the client. Today, we will not show all those advanced procedures, but they are there. We teach that in our training. And in here, look at that. We have only one blue square. We want more blue square, and we will do more. So again, we have here in our program, we have the NLP. So this is our main panel for the emotion. So we have many therapies here, including fear, anger, grieving, and all those therapies that are needed to balance the emotion. So what we could do is just to do the unconscious choice. And right here, the device will test which therapy is the best for the client today. Here we say the healing energy enhancement. So this is what it is. And the healing energy, so what we would do, we could just click twice and it will happen. We can just look at fear and paranoia or anger or all of those therapies. And in here, if we do this therapy, it will look at the emotion behind of this, okay? And it will give us a rectification. We can be a little bit more specific in the emotion. We will show you how it works. So there is like a 2 minute or 1.5 minutes of harmonization for the emotion. And this is really interesting because we just ask the unconscious mind to give us, what is it that the client needs today. And sometimes we just need to go slowly, and it is easier for the client to welcome and receive and accept those therapies. So here we have a rectification 81. So this is really good. So we have plenty here. I told you plenty. We have some others here that some are more physical, I would say. But what is happening is that it will work at the emotional level for this type of therapies. So let's say that we go and we look at here, addiction. Okay, we will just click that, and what is happening is that when we start the therapy, it will work, or it will tell me, or tell the practitioner what is the emotion behind this addiction, if the addiction is a concern for the client, okay? And then we can work and wait for a rectification of 100 here, okay? So this is really something that is so much interesting. So if we would just look at, I close here, And then if I look at all whatever need, stress involvement, let's say that there is stress in here, I can just start and it will tell me what is the emotion that create the stress. Okay, so this is what is so much interesting. So we have plenty of all those therapies here, and I will show you more. We have more here, and we have here many frequencies that are useful for the hypothalamus and for the long thymus, the chakras and everything. So we have plenty of those procedures and therapies and frequencies. And in here, we have, like in here, what I call solfeggio, facilitating change, liberating guilt and fear. So if I click on this one, I click start the IFE, and it will tell me what it is that is behind this fear and guilt and everything. What is in relation with this? What is resonating with this? So this is really something interesting. And again, we have always the same procedure. We are waiting for 100 here. So this is a part of some of the procedure. We have here the emotion. We have many emotion here, and it will tell me here which emotion are more reacting to the client. So we have here, all the emotion, and what I can do, I can just ask, show me a graph. And then I have a graph of what is reacting to the client. So again, I do not like, or I am concerned with the peak, okay? I will just ask the client. And what is important is that we do not say, Monsieur, you are passive here. I have passivity. I say, Monsieur, you are reacting to passivity. What does it mean to you? Okay, so here we are reacting to depression. What is this significant to you? So he will decide if it is related to him. Maybe his wife is in depression, maybe his mother, maybe he hates people in depression, maybe he is surrounded with people with depression. So you understand. So the client knows what it is, what is the meaning, what is the significance with him. And also we do not like the peak below here. That would be status loyal, a need for change. So this is what we could do. And look, and we have some therapies here. And we just go for we just say top, balance the top and the below, top and below. And it will harmonize, try to harmonize those frequencies with frequencies to try to balance those emotions. And this is really important to understand that we are working at the unconscious level. So some people will say, oh, no, I am not a passive, like in here, passivity. But we will say your unconscious mind or superconscious, give us this information. So we know that the conscious mind is maybe less than 10%, and the unconscious mind is more than 90%. So many of those answers will be revealed through the unconscious mind, okay? And again, so we have that. And then we work with the neurotransmitter. We have work and talk in one of the video about the neurotransmitter. But the thing is that what we do is really, when we balance the emotion, we will see that many of the emotions are related to neurotransmitters. So we have again here a therapies for neurotransmitter, okay, to harmonize. And also what we have here is doesn't treat the emotion with phase stabilization. It will give us some measure about the love index and the frustration index. And this is also so revealing. We want the love to be like twice as high as the frustration. So here it's almost the same. So we would say we need more love here. And then we would do and correct it again. We have the neuropeptide that are so important for the brain. So again, the emotion and the biochemistry of the brain are very much related. We have another program, which is the unconscious reactivity. So the unconscious reactivity, what what it will do is that it will work at what are the main conflict that the person is ready to release today. So what we will do, we will write the age of the person. That person has 35 years, is 35 years old. And what we will do, we will just click start. And then usually when we do this type of therapies, and we need to make sure that we have the authorization of the client. The best is that we work at that level with the client in direct, with the harness. I believe it is. It's more holistic. We can discuss, exchange, see the reactivity or the reaction, the physical reaction of the client. So this is something important. For sure, it can be done also by distance. But according to me, I like better to work with a client in a session that is fully dedicated to the emotional balance. So here it will tell me awareness, and it will tell me about what is the trauma, physical, and does not give me here the age, and mainly because I do not have the client with me. It is in subspace, and then the age did not come out here today, and then so we will not force on that. What we can do also is we can have a disease type. Let's see, here we have maybe another disease, and we can ask what is the path that create that disease. Again, this is easier with the client when we have the client with us. And this is so important because it will start from the wound. And then this is not necessarily the most important conflict. It is that the conflict that the client is ready to release today. Okay, so we are always trying to work with what the client wants to do today. Okay, so that is more important. And then we have those therapies where we can treat, the emotional profile, and then we can set a time here, and then we work 1 minute, 2 minutes, and then look at that. Here it tell me, this nervous problem for this person. It came from stress at age 11, then age 12, and then age 31, and then age 35. It's related to perverse energy, excess wind in the body. When I say perverse energy, it's mainly radiation, the wind, the humidity, and all of this. The heat and the karmic backlash and pathogen. And then it's related to stress, and it's related to hypothalamus, and then the skin, the frontal lobe, and it provides me all the information on this. And then I can ask the client to talk to me about that. We can ask the client to do some technique like a EFT and things like that. We can work with, here we can just ask, and do some of the treatment here. And then what is important is that we can ask what is the link with the spine, because we know that the stress is related in the spine. Stress is stored in the spine. So we can just look at it, tell me like right here in all the cervicals and mainly the C5 and all the thoracic, okay, mainly the T12. And then I can just ask and then just correct, those things, so that the emotional stress will be uprooted. So this is really, really, really interesting. What we can do also is just go and see in which tissue. So it tells me that the stress has affected all those red part of the tissue, okay? And mainly here it will talk to me about, all those, the prostate and everything, okay? In blue, it means that it is more chronic. Red means that it is more ague, okay? So we can see it today. So this is really something interesting, and then we can harmonize all of this. So this is really something that is interesting. We have, some affirmation for our client and everything. So again, what we can do is we have some very much interesting program also, which is the here. Here we will not do it necessarily because we need to have the permission of the client. But here we can ask, what is a secret that he does not say to people in general, that he does not say to friends or family, that he himself will not say to himself loud, and then all the transcendental secret. This is like emotions, it will just give an emotion, okay? But this is, I can say, take the step one. So for that person, I guess it will be okay. We can click and it will say, well, this is what he will not tell to people, that type of thing. So we need to always ask the client, what it means for him, and then uh, how we can address this situation, and then we can just click twice, and then we can just put in here and then balance it. Okay, so this is so interesting. And sometimes the client do not know really. He can relate to something or he can not relate to something. What it is that the unconscious mind tells us this is a block, this is maybe just a memory, but somewhere there is something, and we just go with it, and then eventually it will uncover some of the thing behind, and it is just so much interesting. We have plenty of other procedures about the blood analysis that will talk about the emotion. We have many, but this is mainly the procedure that we will use with our client, I would say on a regular basis. We will not go necessarily with all those unconscious reactivity for the first time. For the first session, I always like to go to do the graphic of the emotion, but I will not go too much deep because we do not have time usually. And sometimes we need to make sure that the client is ready to work on the emotion. So this was a first look at our emotional balance. I hope it has been interesting for you. And this is my details. If ever you are interested in that, to hear more, to know more about how we do the emotional balance, you're welcome to contact me, and I will be more than happy to show you. Also, we have procedures to show emotion in real time. We will go through that in some other video to make sure that you understand how precise and how wonderful are those technologies. Thank you very much.